To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. In a chaotic world where emotions and challenges constantly bombard us, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism has made a powerful resurgence, offering us a pathway to inner peace and authenticity. This philosophy, with its timeless principles, teaches us a liberating truth. Sometimes, to truly grow, we need to release the bonds of certain relationships, even those as significant as family or friends. This idea isn't about embracing isolation. It's about cultivating a life of genuine connections that foster our personal development and inner tranquility. Have you ever felt like you're at a crossroads, holding on to a relationship or friendship because it's comfortable and familiar, yet deep down, you sense it's holding you back from reaching your full potential? This is a tough realization. It's difficult to accept that those who have been closest to us, with whom we've shared laughter, tears, and countless memories, may not be meant to journey with us forever. This stark revelation can be unsettling, but it is where the transformative light of Stoicism shines the brightest. The Stoics, with their profound understanding of human nature and the quest for a fulfilling life, remind us that personal growth often necessitates making difficult decisions about who we permit into our inner circle. It isn't about cutting people out of our lives with cold indifference. Rather, it's about intentionally curating our lives. This means choosing relationships that uplift, inspire, and challenge us to become the best versions of ourselves. Consider the example of a workplace environment. Imagine you're part of a team where a colleague constantly undermines your efforts and drains your energy. Despite the familiarity and routine of the job, this relationship hampers your ability to thrive and grow professionally. Applying Stoic wisdom, you might reflect on whether this dynamic aligns with your values and goals. You might ask yourself, how is this relationship affecting my potential for growth? And what steps can I take to create a more supportive environment? Similarly, in the context of family, suppose you have a relative whose negativity and criticism have become a constant source of stress. Although family bonds are strong, Stoicism encourages you to evaluate whether this relationship is conducive to your well-being. You might ponder, is maintaining this relationship helping me to live a life of virtue and tranquility? And what boundaries can I establish to protect my peace and foster healthier interaction? Stoicism teaches us that it's not about amassing a large number of friends or being universally liked. Instead, it's about surrounding ourselves with individuals who contribute positively to our lives, encourage our growth, and align with our values. This might mean having fewer but more meaningful relationships that truly enrich our lives. So, if you find yourself at a crossroads feeling the weight of a decision that could redefine your path, know that you're not alone. Today, we will dive deep into the heart of Stoic wisdom to explore the signs that it might be time to lovingly release certain ties. By doing so, we create space for new growth, deeper connections, and a life that aligns with our highest virtues. As we embark on this journey together, guided by the timeless teachings of Stoicism, get comfortable and ready to discover the freedom and peace come from choosing our relationships with wisdom and courage. And as we navigate this path, I invite you to engage fully with this exploration. Subscribe to this channel, share this video with someone who might benefit from this message, and don't skip any part. Each moment of this journey could be the one that transforms your life. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we learn to curate our relationships with intention, ensuring that our connections are not just numerous, but genuinely enriching. This process, though challenging, ultimately leads to a life of greater fulfillment and inner peace. So let's begin this journey towards a more authentic and purposeful life, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. Number 1. Recognizing growth-stifling relationships. Friendship that can end was never real. This thought-provoking quote encourages us to deeply reflect on the nature of true friendship and familial love. Ideally, these relationships should be steadfast pillars that support and guide us in our relentless pursuit of wisdom and virtue. However, it is crucial to recognize that sometimes the bonds we maintain can divert us from our path of growth. In today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, the importance of relationships that support personal development cannot be overstated. Consider the scenario where you decide to change your style of dress. Perhaps you've embraced a more professional and polished look to reflect your aspirations and the new direction you want to take in life. If your friends or family ridicule you, dismiss your choices, or make you feel uncomfortable about this change, it's a clear sign that these relationships might be stifling your growth. Have you ever felt like you were stuck, unable to move forward because someone close to you wasn't cheering you on? Worse yet, have you felt back by their negativity or lack of support? This is a tough spot to be in. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, emphasized the power of personal growth and self-improvement. He believed that a life worth living is one where we continuously evolve, learn, and push our boundaries. If you find yourself in a relationship, be it with a friend, family member, or partner, that hinders your growth, it's a significant red flag you cannot ignore. Modern psychology also supports this view. Relationships should be sources of encouragement and support, not obstacles. In the workplace, for instance, if your colleagues or superiors belittle your attempts to improve your professional appearance, it can severely impact your confidence and career progression. Similarly, in a family setting, if your relatives criticize your efforts to present yourself differently, it can create unnecessary tension and stifle your personal development. True connections are those that uplift us, challenge us positively, and respect our essence and life goals. If your relationships feel more like quicksand, pulling you down rather than propelling you forward, it's time to reconsider their place in your life. This process involves introspection and often requires the courage to make difficult decisions. It's worth having a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself, asking, why am I still holding on to this relationship? Is it out of habit, fear, or misplaced loyalty? Take a moment to reflect on whether these relationships are bridges to your best self or barriers to your growth. This isn't about every relationship pushing you to the limit or achieving record-breaking success. It's about having people in your life who genuinely want to see you flourish. They should be your cheerleaders, not anchors dragging you down into the depths of what if and if only. Stoicism teaches us the importance of surrounding ourselves with individuals who contribute positively to our lives. It's not about accumulating friends or being universally liked. Instead, it's about curating a circle that enriches your life, encourages your growth, and aligns with your values. Sometimes, growth means letting go of those who hold us back, not with bitterness, but with gratitude for the lessons learned and the strength gained from knowing when to say goodbye. Remember, personal growth is intrinsically linked to the people we choose to share our journey with. Healthy and constructive relationships are those that encourage us to be better, challenge us positively, and most importantly, respect our essence and life goals. So if you find yourself feeling stuck or held back by your relationships, take a step back and reassess. Reflect on whether these connections are truly serving your highest good. The journey of self-improvement is never a solo trip. We need the right companions to make the journey worthwhile, those who stand by us and support us in our relentless pursuit of growth and virtue. Number 2. Navigating negative emotions with Stoic wisdom. In the intricate web of human relationships, we often find ourselves ensnared by a whirlwind of negative emotions. Have you ever been in a situation where it feels like drama is the main dish and support is nowhere to be found? It's undeniably exhausting. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, provides a beacon of wisdom in such tumultuous times. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful insight emphasizes the crucial importance of controlling our reactions rather than the events that trigger them. Imagine a relationship where jealousy, anger, or resentment becomes the norm. These destructive emotions, if left unchecked, can eclipse the very essence of our being, pulling us into a relentless cycle of negativity. It's not uncommon to feel overshadowed by a friend's success or undermined by a partner's words. Yet Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we are in the driver's seat of our emotional responses. While we cannot dictate external occurrences, we hold the reins to our reactions. Navigating through such emotional turmoil requires a profound level of self-awareness. It starts with acknowledging these emotions as they surface and questioning their origins. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is triggering this reaction? By understanding the root of our emotions, we can better manage them. This approach is not about suppressing feelings, but about responding to them in a way that aligns with our true self. Consider the metaphor of a ship in a storm. The storm represents external events beyond our control, raging around us. Our mind is the ship, and our emotional responses are the helm. Steering the ship calmly through the storm, rather than allowing it to be tossed about, illustrates the essence of Stoic wisdom. We might not calm the storm, but we can certainly navigate through it with grace and resilience. It's essential to recognize that relationships shouldn't be battlegrounds. If a relationship feels more like a constant struggle than a source of comfort and peace, it's a clear indication that something needs to change. These emotions are a natural part of the human experience, but should not be the foundation of our relationships. The challenge lies in identifying these destructive emotions and mastering our reaction. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that our true power lies within our control over our minds. This means practicing continuous self-reflection and maintaining emotional health even in the face of adversity. It involves asking hard questions about whether the relationship in question truly contributes to our well-being, or if it merely entangles us in emotional strife. In a practical sense, this might mean setting boundaries or even distancing ourselves from relationships that consistently evoke negative emotion. This isn't about running away from problems, but rather about acknowledging when a relationship is pulling us into negative spirals instead of lifting us up. Remember, not every relationship is meant to endure every phase of our lives. The natural course of things, as the Stoics believe, sometimes means growing apart. This doesn't mean that either party is at fault. It simply means that the relationship no longer serves its intended purpose of mutual growth and support. So if you find yourself wrestling with negative emotions in any of your relationships, take a moment to reflect on Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Recognize that you have the power to control your reactions and ultimately choose relationships that are grounded in positive, supportive energy. Let's not allow drama to define our connections. Instead, let's cultivate relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine support. These are the relationships that withstand the test of time and bring out the best in us. In the end, the path to inner peace and growth is paved with choices that reflect our highest values. By mastering our emotions and choosing our relationships wisely, we can create a life of tranquility and fulfillment, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Number 3. The dangers of manipulation and control. Navigating the complexities of relationships, it becomes crucial to address the subtle and overt forms of manipulation and control. Imagine feeling like a marionette, your strings pulled by someone else's whims, rather than being an equal partner. This scenario is a glaring red flag, signaling a need for reevaluation. As Epictetus, the esteemed Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "No one is free who is not master of himself." This profound insight underscores the importance of autonomy and self-governance as foundations for personal well-being and growth. In any relationship, whether personal or professional, feeling like your decisions, desires, and even thoughts are not your own, but are constantly being influenced or dictated by someone else, is deeply troubling. It suggests a fundamental compromise of your autonomy. True freedom, as Epictetus teaches, arises from within. It's about being in control of our actions, decisions, and ultimately our lives. Manipulation and control can manifest in various insidious ways. They may be as subtle as persistent suggestions that steer you away from your passions, or as blatant as demands dictating your actions and choices. These are not characteristics of a healthy relationship. Genuine connections should be built on mutual respect and freedom, where both parties support each other's growth and individuality. Imagine your life as a beautifully crafted sailboat, designed to navigate the vast oceans of experiences and opportunities. Now, picture someone constantly steering your boat, pulling you off course, away from your intended destination. This is what manipulation and control feel like. They strip you of your agency, leaving you adrift and disconnected from your true self. If you find yourself constantly second-guessing your choices or feeling as though your wings have been clipped, it's essential to ask yourself some critical questions. Why am I staying in a dynamic that stifles my freedom? What is preventing me from being the author of my own life story? These reflections are not about being harsh or unkind. Rather, they are about honoring your worth and autonomy. Cutting ties with someone who manipulates or controls you is a difficult yet necessary step towards reclaiming your freedom. It's about embracing Epictetus's wisdom and taking charge of your life. This decision may involve letting go of familiar comforts or even someone you deeply care about, but it is essential for your well-being. Stoicism teaches us that the right path is often the challenging one, leading us away from what harms us and towards a more authentic and fulfilling existence. True relationships are those that respect our individuality and freedom. They encourage us to explore, question, and grow without trying to mold us into something we are not. They don't dictate how we should live our lives, but support us in our unique journey. Reflecting on Epictetus's words, "No one is truly free who isn't master of himself," we must consider whether our relationships empower us or bind us. Are they allowing us to be authentically ourselves, or are they pulling our strings? It's time to cut those strings if they hinder our growth and autonomy. This journey toward reclaiming your freedom is not just about distancing yourself from toxic relationships. It's about seeking connections that empower and uplift you. It's about finding relationships that celebrate your autonomy and support your aspiration. Let's cherish and seek out those connections that enable us to be the masters of our own lives. True friendship and love should set us free, not hold us back. By recognizing the dangers of manipulation and control, and by taking steps to reclaim our autonomy, we pave the way for a life of true freedom and personal fulfillment. Number 4. Identifying harmful relationship dynamics. In the realm of human connections, what happens when a relationship starts to do more harm than good? Have you ever felt more drained than energized, more stressed and supported by someone's presence? It's as if you're perpetually walking on eggshells, caught in an unending cycle of arguments, or just feeling low whenever they're around. These are glaring red flags, indicating that something is seriously wrong. Healthy connections, the kind we all deserve and should strive for, are supposed to enrich our lives, bring joy, and support us through life's ups and downs. They are not meant to complicate our lives with constant stress or make us question our worth. Stoics emphasized living in harmony with nature, including our own nature, and pursuing a life of virtue and tranquility. They believed in the importance of maintaining relationships that align with these principles. If you find yourself in a relationship that pulls you away from peace and your best self, it's worth considering what the Stoics might advise. They would likely encourage us to step back and examine the situation objectively. Is this relationship contributing to your well-being? Is it helping you grow as a person, or is it a source of constant negativity, draining your energy and leaving you feeling worse off? If it's the latter, it might be time to question whether this connection is truly serving your highest good. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-awareness and the courage to make difficult decisions that align with our well-being and virtues. This approach is not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about recognizing what's genuinely beneficial for us in the long run. Sometimes, this means making the tough choice to distance ourselves from relationships that do more harm than good. This doesn't mean that every rough patch in a relationship signals toxicity or that it should end immediately. But if you consistently feel worse because of someone's presence in your life, it's a clear sign that something needs to change. Healthy relationships, while they may face challenges, are fundamentally sources of support, love, and mutual growth. Reflecting on these dynamics is essential. Picture a garden where some plants thrive while others wither and die, choked by weeds. Toxic relationship is like the weed, sapping the soil's nutrients and making it difficult for anything else to grow. For your garden of well-being to flourish, sometimes the weeds must be pulled. If you find this resonating with your current situation, take a moment to reflect and consider what steps you can take to address the issues at hand. Communication is key. It might be time for an honest, open conversation about how you're feeling. If things don't change, remember that prioritizing your peace and well-being is okay. The Stoics remind us that our responsibility to ourselves includes nurturing healthy relationships and letting go of those that aren't. Let's commit to seeking out and cultivating connections that add to our lives rather than complicate them. At the end of the day, we all deserve relationships that bring us joy, growth, and tranquility. Facing these challenges and making these tough decisions help us grow stronger and more aligned with our true selves. This is the Stoic way, embracing what serves us and having the wisdom to let go of what doesn't. By doing so, we pave the way for a life of greater fulfillment and inner peace. Remember, the quality of our lives is greatly influenced by the quality of our relationships. It's about finding balance, embracing truth, and cultivating respect. Above all, it's about ensuring our connections enrich our lives without compromising our peace. Number 5, foundation of mutual respect. In relationships, mutual respect is absolutely essential. Without it, any connection we attempt to build is on unstable ground. Much like trying to construct a house on sand, eventually, it crumbles. The Stoics, who valued living a virtuous life, stressed the significance of self-respect and the respect we should extend to others. They believed that every individual possesses intrinsic worth and dignity, and this should be evident in how we interact with each other. Consider your own experiences. Have you ever been in a relationship where you weren't treated with the respect you deserve? This isn't merely about feeling undervalued. It's about acknowledging that a core aspect of your humanity is being overlooked. Mutual respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. It forms the basis upon which trust, love, and genuine understanding are built. Without respect, a relationship becomes hollow and unfulfilling, not worthy of your emotional investment. Some might argue, but what if I care deeply about this person? That's a valid concern. Relationships are indeed complex and fraught with strong emotion. This is where Stoic wisdom can be incredibly helpful. The Stoics focused on clarity, rationality, and living in alignment with our highest values. They would advise us to take a step back and objectively evaluate our relationships. Are we being true to ourselves by remaining in a situation where we're not respected? Are we honoring our inherent worth and the virtues we strive to embody? The answer is no. It's time to seriously reconsider the relationship. This doesn't mean cutting someone out of your life without compassion. Instead, it's about recognizing your own value and making decisions that reflect that recognition. This could involve setting clearer boundaries, having a sincere conversation about how you're feeling, or sometimes realizing that it's necessary to move on. Demanding respect for yourself and ensuring that others treat you with respect is neither selfish nor demanding. It reflects the self-worth that the Stoics believed each of us should cultivate. It's about living with integrity and ensuring your relationships mirror the respect and virtue you aspire to maintain in your life. If you find yourself in a situation where respect is lacking, take a moment to reflect on what that means for your well-being. Consider how you can address this issue in a way that honors your dignity and values. Everyone deserves relationships where they are treated with the same respect and consideration they offer to others. Let's aim to foster relationships built on mutual respect, where each person is valued and appreciated for who they are. These are the relationships that not only survive but thrive, reflecting the best of what it means to live a life grounded in Stoic principles and virtues. In our interactions with others, maintaining mutual respect can sometimes be challenging, but it's crucial for the strength and stability of our relationships. Imagine respect as the thread that weaves the fabric of meaningful connections. Without it, the fabric unravels, leaving only frayed edges and gaps. Recognizing when respect is absent in a relationship and taking steps to address it is vital for preserving one's dignity and mental health. This might mean having open and honest conversations, setting firm boundaries, and, if necessary, distancing yourself from relationships that consistently show disrespect. Choosing relationships based on mutual respect aligns with a path of self-worth and personal growth. It embodies the Stoic ideals of dignity and self-control. Ultimately, it's about building connections that are strong, supportive, and enriching, rather than weak and unreliable. Number 6. Reality versus illusions in relationships. What happens when we face the truth? This timeless question is essential in understanding the heart of Stoicism and its relevance to our relationships. The Stoics teach us that there is immense power and freedom in seeing things as they truly are, without the distortions of wishful thinking or denial. This concept is crucial when it comes to our interpersonal connections. Let's consider the historical figure of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Despite his immense power, he consistently applied Stoic principles to his relationships and governance. Marcus emphasized the importance of accepting reality and acting in accordance with it. He understood that illusions and false perceptions could lead to poor decisions and personal turmoil. In the context of relationships, this means taking a hard, honest look at them. Are we holding on to fantasies? Are we ignoring red flags or glossing over significant issues? If we build our relationships on illusions, they may seem perfect from a distance, but crumble upon closer inspection. This is much like building a castle on a foundation of sand. Eventually, it will collapse under its own weight. To illustrate, think about a colleague who consistently makes promises they don't keep. You might want to believe their assurances, but if their actions consistently fall short, it's essential to confront the reality of their behavior. Continuing to ignore this discrepancy prevents genuine connection and progress. Stoic philosophy teaches us to confront these illusions head-on. This requires courage and honesty. By accepting the reality of our relationships, even when it's uncomfortable, we lay the groundwork for authentic and meaningful connections. This process might involve recognizing that a relationship isn't what we thought it was, or that a person isn't who we hoped they would be. While this realization can be painful, it is a crucial step towards personal growth and emotional freedom. Imagine living in a state of constant disillusionment because we refuse to see things as they are. This detachment from reality can lead to ignoring serious issues, making decisions based on distorted perceptions, and ultimately living in a state of ongoing frustration and dissatisfaction. Relationships characterized by unfulfilled promises and unrealistic expectations are fertile ground for such feelings. Confronting the truth in a relationship is challenging, especially when it means undoing deeply held illusions. However, this step is necessary for personal development and building healthier, more realistic relationships. The Stoics encourage us to embrace reality, deal with situations as they are, and seek serenity within that understanding. To make this practical, start by reflecting on the aspects of your relationships that might be based more on illusion than reality. Ask yourself, what parts of my relationship are real, and what parts have I embellished or imagined? This clarity can guide you toward a more authentic and satisfying life. For example, consider setting clear boundaries and having open conversations about your needs and expectations. If someone's behavior consistently undermines these discussions, it might be time to reassess the relationship's value to your well-being. In summary, by embracing reality, we open ourselves to genuine connections that enrich our lives in meaningful ways. This approach aligns with Stoic principles of acceptance and clear understanding of the world as it is. As we move forward, let's commit to seeing our relationships clearly, acting with wisdom and integrity. By doing so, we pave the way for a life filled with true happiness and fulfillment. Feel free to leave your thoughts and help spread this message by liking and subscribing. Let's continue this journey of mental and emotional growth together, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Number 7. Staying true to your values in relationships. How much of yourself are you willing to compromise? This question cuts to the core of what it means to live a life of integrity and self-respect, principles deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Living in alignment with one's values is not just an ideal, it is a necessity for a fulfilling and meaningful life. When a relationship forces us to compromise our core values, we face a dilemma that demands serious reflection and action. Consider the story of Socrates, who remained steadfast in his beliefs even in the face of death. He could have compromised his values to save his life. He chose to stay true to himself. This historical example highlights the importance of living in accordance with our principles, even when it's challenging. Our personal values act as an internal compass, guiding our decisions and interaction. When a relationship demands that we abandon these values, it compromises our integrity and leads to dissatisfaction and discomfort. This might involve being pressured to act against our beliefs, tolerating unacceptable behavior, or sacrificing key aspects of our identity. Initially, these concessions may seem minor, but over time, they erode our self-esteem and self-respect. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with our values. This means having the courage to make difficult choices, distancing ourselves from situations that divert us from our path, and seeking relationships that respect and reflect our fundamental principle. Assessing whether a relationship aligns with our values is challenging and may involve internal conflicts and fears. However, staying true to our values is essential for mental and emotional health and is a sign of self-respect and authenticity. For example, if you find yourself in a work environment that consistently asks you to engage in practices you find unethical, it's crucial to evaluate the impact this has on your integrity. Are you honoring your core beliefs, or are you slowly eroding your sense of self? Stoics teach us that integrity and virtue are practical guides for living a good life. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all emphasize the importance of staying true to oneself and living in alignment with one's values, regardless of external pressures. This alignment gives our lives meaning, direction, and purpose. For relationship demands that you betray your values, it's a clear signal to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this relationship serving my highest good? Is it allowing me to grow and thrive, or is it holding me back? Walking away from a relationship that compromises your values is not a sign of failure. It is a courageous act of self-respect. It declares that you value yourself enough to accept only those relationships that uplift you, respect you, and align with your essence. Let's challenge ourselves to live with the integrity and virtue that the Stoics admired so much. Ensure that your relationships reflect and respect your values, not undermine them. This adherence to values defines us, guides us through life's ups and downs, and leads us to true fulfillment. Cherish your values and never compromise on them for anyone or anything. By doing so, you honor the wisdom of the Stoics and pave the way for relationships that are genuine, meaningful, and truly enriching. Number 8. Ensuring reciprocity in relationships. When discussing reciprocity in relationships, think of it as a balance between give and take. Imagine a balanced scale where both sides need to be equal for harmony to exist. What happens when this balance is off? When you find yourself in a one-sided relationship, constantly giving but rarely receiving, creates a scenario of inequality that can be harmful and unsustainable in the long run. Consider the historical example of Roman statesman Cicero, who valued mutual support and reciprocity in his relationships. He believed that friendship should be a balanced exchange where both parties contribute and benefit. Cicero's views reflect the importance of reciprocity in maintaining healthy and lasting relationships. Balanced relationships involve both parties contributing and receiving fairly. This exchange doesn't need to be exact or immediate, but should generally feel mutual. When one person is always the giver and the other always the receiver, it creates an unequal dynamic, leading to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and devaluation. This imbalance undermines the essence of a healthy relationship. Stoics also valued contributing to the well-being of others, but not at the expense of one's own well-being. The ideal relationship for the Stoics was one of harmony and mutual respect, where both individuals support each other in their pursuit of virtue and a good life. If you're in a one-sided relationship, it's worth reflecting on Stoic principles of balance and mutual respect. Are you respecting yourself by allowing this imbalance to continue? Are you respecting the other person by enabling a dynamic that doesn't encourage their growth, contribution? Addressing this imbalance doesn't necessarily mean ending the relationship. It can be an opportunity for growth for both parties. Start with communication. Express your needs, set boundaries, and discuss ways to bring more balance into the relationship. Encourage and allow the other person to contribute more, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Healthy relationships are dynamic. They evolve over time and require effort, compromise, and a willingness to adapt. The foundation should always be one of reciprocity. Each person should feel valued, heard, and supported. This mutual support builds trust, deepens connections, and fosters an environment where both individuals can thrive. Remember, seeking balance in your relationships is not selfish. It is necessary. It's about ensuring that you're not just giving, but also receiving the support, love, and respect you deserve. Building relationships that are sustainable and enriching for both parties is crucial. Let's strive to cultivate relationships where reciprocity is the norm, not the exception. By taking Stoic ideals of balance and mutual respect to heart, we can create connections that uplift and support everyone involved. In the give and take of life, we find the true essence of meaningful relationships. Number 9. Upholding self-worth and dignity. What happens when we let others devalue us? This profound question is central to understanding our self-worth and dignity. Stoic wisdom teaches us that we should never tolerate abusive behavior, no matter its form. Abuse, whether physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, or financial, has devastating effects on our mental, physical, and emotional health. Consider the story of Boudica, the warrior queen of the Iceni tribe, who stood against the Roman Empire. Her resilience and refusal to accept abuse and oppression are legendary. She chose to fight for her dignity and the well-being of her people, embodying the Stoic principle of valuing oneself and rejecting any form of devaluation. In abusive relationships, patterns of control, intimidation, isolation, and fear often emerge. These dynamics are completely antithetical to Stoic principles, which emphasize self-respect and dignity. Recognizing that you are in an abusive relationship is the first step towards seeking help and making a change. It's crucial to understand that abuse is never justified, and the responsibility lies entirely with the abuser. Seeking support from friends, family, or professionals is essential in escaping such situations. Leaving an abusive relationship requires immense courage and support, but it is a vital step towards regaining self-esteem and freedom. The journey of recovering from abuse is also one of reaffirming your worth and strength. Therefore, be vigilant about the signs of abuse and take immediate steps to protect yourself. Aligning with Stoic teachings of self-worth and self-respect is crucial on this journey. Living a dignified and respectful life free from abuse is a fundamental right for everyone. Number 10. Improving communication. A Stoic approach. How can we communicate better? Effective communication is crucial in any healthy relationship. When communication consistently fails, whether it's one-sided or filled with conflict, it presents a serious barrier to harmony and understanding. Key elements according to Stoic philosophy. Think about the famous example of Abraham Lincoln's leadership during the American Civil War. Despite the chaos and conflict, Lincoln emphasized clear, honest communication and understanding. His ability to listen, empathize, and communicate effectively was vital in navigating one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. In relationships where communication is lacking, misunderstandings, frustrations, and resentments often arise. One-sided communication, where one party dominates or doesn't allow space for the other, creates a harmful imbalance. Similarly, communication marred by constant conflict can be exhausting and draining. The Stoics valued harmony and balance, both internally and in relationships with others. They advocated for seeking understanding and peaceful dialogue, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and promoting an environment of mutual respect. Effective communication is essential to achieving these goals. To improve communication, practice active listening, express yourself clearly and respectfully, and be open to understanding the other person's perspective. This involves openly discussing problems, sharing feelings and needs, and working together to find constructive solutions. When communication consistently fails despite efforts to improve, it may be necessary to reassess the relationship. Sometimes, seeking help from a professional, such as a couples therapist or counselor, can be beneficial in overcoming communication barriers. Maintaining healthy and effective communication is fundamental to the health and longevity of any relationship. It is crucial not only for individual well-being, but also for building harmonious and enriching connections, in alignment with Stoic teachings of balance and mutual understanding. By prioritizing respectful and clear communication, we pave the way for relationships that are truly supportive and fulfilling. Number 11. Seeking tranquility in connections. How do we preserve our inner peace amidst the chaos of relationship? This question is central to understanding the Stoic pursuit of tranquility. Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured through the centuries, places immense value on maintaining inner calm despite external circumstances. Consider the life of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who lived during the tumultuous times of the Roman Empire. Despite facing political intrigue and personal adversity, Seneca emphasized the importance of maintaining equanimity and inner peace. His writings guide us to cultivate a state of tranquility that remains undisturbed by external events. In our modern lives, relationships are meant to be a source of support and joy. However, when a relationship starts to feel more like a storm, constantly disturbing your peace, it's a clear signal to reassess its role in your life. The Stoics believed that peace of mind is not just a valuable asset, but essential for a fulfilling life. They taught that we should strive to maintain our inner calm in the face of life's ups and downs, including in our relationships. First and foremost, Stoicism encourages us to step back and objectively examine the situation. Ask yourself, why does this relationship disturb my peace? Is it the behavior of the other person, unresolved conflicts, or perhaps my own reactions and expectation? This process of self-examination is crucial because it moves us from emotional reaction to rational response. Once you've identified the source of the disturbance, the next step is to consider what can be changed. Can the issues be addressed through open and honest communication? Are there boundaries that need to be set or reinforced? Remember, Stoicism doesn't advocate for passive acceptance of all situations. While it teaches us to accept what we cannot change, it also encourages us to take action where we can make a positive difference. However, after careful consideration and effort, the relationship continues to be a source of turmoil. It may be time to question its place in your life. This isn't about giving up at the first sign of trouble or conflict. It's about recognizing when a relationship is fundamentally misaligned with your values and your pursuit of tranquility. The decision to distance yourself from a relationship that disturbs your peace is not to be taken lightly. It requires courage, honesty, and sometimes a willingness to let go for the sake of your well-being. The Stoic goal is not to eliminate all sources of discomfort in our lives, to cultivate an inner resilience that allows us to face challenges with equanimity. In the end, the relationships we choose to maintain should support our pursuit of tranquility, not undermine it. They should be sources of strength, growth, and joy, not constant unrest. For instance, if you have a friend whose constant negativity and drama drain your energy, it might be time to have a candid conversation about how you feel. If nothing changes, it may be necessary to distance yourself, preserve your peace. Let's challenge ourselves to look at our relationships through the lens of Stoic acceptance. Embrace the truth, however hard it may be, and in doing so, open ourselves to the kind of genuine, fulfilling connections that enrich our lives in meaningful ways. After all, in the clarity of truth, we find the path to real happiness and love. By surrounding ourselves with people who contribute to our tranquility, we honor not just Stoic teachings, but also our journey towards a life of peace, purpose, and profound fulfillment. How do we measure the true quality of our lives? The answer lies in the quality of our relationships. It's about finding balance, embracing truth, cultivating respect, and ensuring our connections enrich our lives without compromising our peace. As we wrap up today, remember the Stoic principles we've explored together. Let them be a beacon, guiding you through the challenges and joys of your relationships. Take a moment to reflect on the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thought." Apply this to your relationships. Your thoughts, actions, and connections shape your path to tranquility and fulfillment. The pursuit of tranquility, virtue, and wisdom is a journey we're all on together. One step, one decision, one relationship at a time. If this discussion has sparked a desire for deeper exploration, more understanding, and growth, I invite you to dive further into our journey. On your screen, you'll see a playlist that will take you deeper into the world of Stoicism, principles, and how they can be applied to every aspect of your life. Click on it, and let's continue to grow together, challenge ourselves, and cultivate lives of profound meaning and joy. Remember, the journey to a fulfilling life is not walked alone. Together, we can embrace Stoic wisdom, face life's challenges with resilience, and build relationships that truly enrich our lives. Thank you for joining me today. Let's continue this journey, one step at a time. Before we part, I'd love to hear your personal experiences. Have you ever had to make a tough decision in a relationship, to uphold your values or seek tranquility? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences could be the inspiration someone else needs. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment with the number 11. This helps more people discover our content and join our community of growth and self-improvement. Let's continue to support each other on this journey towards a more meaningful and peaceful life.